And this is really exciting. This is the first time we've had people together in a venue to have a real live performance. Yeah, let's give ourselves a round of applause. We made it. We're here, and you're here. You're a special invited guest that you are. It's so exciting to have you here in person and to have you with us at home on our ECTV Live. We have a crew here videoing and getting the audio just right. So this is very exciting for all of us here in the Center for the Arts. Present this program in conjunction with the Task Force for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. My partner in crime, Gail Cantor, actually knew of James Dargan first, and she brought him to us last February, and I kind of stole him and said, the chorus wants to meet James, and the chorus wants to sing with James, and so, of course, we did that last February, and it was so wonderful, and then the world shut down, and we gave ourselves a lot of thought and thinking, and we said, we need to have James back. We need to keep talking. We need to keep singing. We need to keep making music. You have programs with you, and the biographies of our performers are here, but I can tell you that you are in excellent hands tonight. Mark Whitlock, our pianist, is an esteemed collaborative pianist working with singers in art song. He's also a piano technician for some of the finest venues. And of course, James Dargan, baritone, is a multi-talented person with credits in composing and violin playing and translation and all kinds of arts. But he is first and foremost tonight a singer and a storyteller and a communicator. And we are in for such a treat to hear what James has to sing and to say. And so let's give James a really warm round of applause and welcome James Dargan.
Oh, thank you. Oh, hello, everybody. Just so you know, I will be talking to you, and you are allowed to talk back to me. But we're going to jump right into a song, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit after that, okay? Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our elders sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of a bright star is cast. Gone are the weary years, gone are the silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on. keep us forever in the path we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Let us resound loud, like rolling So that's known as the Negro National Anthem. And I've known the first verse for as long as I can remember. The second and third verses are lesser known, even among black people. I would not say we're a monolith, but I feel confident saying that. And so when I wrote that arrangement, I had to learn the second and third verse. So just a little pop quiz for me. This program is both an outgrowth of the first O Glory and a new direction, or an upward climb from that program. Because while that program had almost no pieces written by black composers on it, it was all of the core repertoire of famous black musicians. This program is all black all the time, all black composers, and I promise I will stay black for the entire program as well. And Mark is wearing black, so that's fine. These next few songs, the Bond songs, and I know that some of you on streaming might not have the program to hand, so I'll try to make sure that I read a little bit about the pieces and say the names of them before we do them. The next piece we're going to do is called Life, and actually no, it's called I Too, and this is the poem I Too Sing America by Langston Hughes. And this is a setting by Margaret Bonds, and if you don't know Bonds, you will get to know her tonight, and you should definitely seek out everything she ever wrote. She wrote 3 of these songs, and I Too is the first one, Dream Variations is the second one, and Negro Speaks of Rivers is the third. And into that set of Bond songs, I've inserted one song by Samuel Coleridge Taylor, who is the lone non-American black person on this program. He was English, although his father's side was enslaved in the U.S. So with Bond, one must know right away that not only is it a distinctly American voice, but also a distinctly black classical voice. Whatever black classical music is, Margaret Bonds wrote it. She also knew Langston Hughes personally. She wrote a very poignant account of coming across his poetry before she met the man. She said, she was a student at Northeastern University, and she said, I was in this horribly prejudiced place, trying to get through school when people wouldn't serve me at restaurant counters. And I came across this poem, A Negro Speaks with Rivers, and I knew immediately that it was okay for me to be who I was. And what I was glorious. And then I think about 10 years after, she and Hughes met and became thick as thieves, like brother and sister. But I think the message of these 3 poems and songs is fairly self-explanatory. The song Life and Death, which I think we're going to do second, by Coleridge Taylor, is a bit of a Victorian bonbon. You're going to hear me adopt a rather affected English accent, if I do it right, because he was through and through English as well as black. And then after we finish this Bond set, we're going to talk a little bit more. I too sing America. I am the dark brother. They sent me to eat in the kitchen when company comes. But I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody'll say to me, sit in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. To look for the sigh, for the cry, for the under my breath, to clasp but a shade where thy hand hath been laid. It is death, it is death, it is death. To long for the yearn, for the burn, for the sorrow and strife, but to have thee and hold thee and fold thee. It is life, it is life, it is life. I've known rivers, I've known rivers, ancient as the world, and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when the dawns were young. I built my heart near near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I saw its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the to fling my arms wide in some place in the sun, to whirl and to dance till the white day is done, then rest at pale evening beneath a tall tree, while night comes on gently, dark like me. That is my dream. To fling my arms wide in the face of the sun, dance, whirl, whirl, till the quick day is done. Rest at cool evening, a tall, slim tree, night coming tenderly, black like me, night coming tenderly, black like me. comes to mind for me when I sing those songs, and there's always something different every time, but today, at this moment in time, the thing that comes to me when I sing those songs, especially those texts by Langston Hughes, is that being black in this country is beautiful, but being black in this country is also a force that tries you like a diamond. And no one should have to be tried like that. We should all be able to be as soft and yielding and human as we can be, as we are meant to be. But because of the systemic racism in this country and the systemic racism that motivates this country and from which it was made, being black encompasses mighty rivers, pyramids, New Orleans, all of these mystical, powerful things. To be black is to be powerful beyond your wildest dreams and to wish you did not have to be. And so what Bonds does with these texts, she brings out the primeval, primordial strength that keeps you going. But also in songs like Dream Variation, which is the last one we just did, there's a yielding quality and a desire just to rest. I just want to fling my arms wide in the face of the sun and rest at cool evenings. That's all I want. That's all any of us really want, to be able to wear our sweatpants and watch some Netflix and to order some Amazon Prime. They're not paying me to advertise for them. And we should all be able to do that. We should all be able to have comfort and peace and tranquility. That also kind of plays into the theme of the next song, Come Sunday, which has a very philosophical kind of outlook on life. At one point I say, I believe that with God's blessing we can make it through eternity, which I know seems a far-off thing right now. But something about the man himself, Duke Ellington, who wrote this song, this hymn, he refused to be qualified or pigeonholed. He said, I write good music. I like good music. One of his parents was a pianist who enjoyed salon parlor music, and another one was a pianist who enjoyed playing for singers, for opera singers. So he had this, from a very young age, he had this idea that good art and good music is just good, So this has Come Sunday in my own arrangement, and as always, I'm super grateful to Mark Whitlock for putting up with the difficulties I put him through. God, dear God above, God of mercy, God of love, please look down and see my people through. I believe that God made sun and moon up in the sky. I don't mind the gray skies, 'cause they're just clouds passing by and by. God, dear God above, God of mercy, God of love, please look down and see my people through. I know God is now, was then, and will always be. I know with God's blessing we shall make it through eternity. God, dear God above, God of mercy, God of love, please look down and see my people through. So now we go to one of my favorite parts of the program, where I get to sit down and shut up. This is all Mark. This is the slow movement from Florence Price's Sonata for Piano in A minor, or E minor, excuse me, although this movement starts in A minor. And it's gorgeous. And after that, I'll be back with you. So, full disclosure, Mark coming across this piece was one of my excuses to make this program, kind of build it around it. And every single time I hear this movement, and really the whole sonata, I think to myself, this could not have come from anywhere but here. You told me that the first time we talked. This piece could not come from anywhere but here. And at the same time, it is perceptibly black. If blackness is a creation, a construct, just like whiteness is, blackness is also an empire, a mansion, an estate. It's so regal what she does with an instrument that was made with no thought of her in mind, out of a European classical tradition that was made with any thoughts of her in mind being ones of servitude and she made that. And that is hers and it is ours. It is just such an incredible treasure. This is my time to talk about history. I mean, I've been talking about history this entire time, both in song and spoken, but here's one. This is the next piece on the program. Is deeply associated in my mind with the great black baritone named Robert Honeysucker, who passed suddenly and unexpectedly, I think a couple of years ago, Boston-based. And he was one of my teachers, not voice teacher, but he was one of my teachers at the conservatory that I went to. And he and his wife were unfailingly supportive of young black singers. And when Robert had passed, when Bob had passed, several young black singers in the Boston area, including me, were asked to sing in commemorative concerts. And I knew this song, Here's One, from my childhood. I played it on the violin when I was a kid, back in the dark ages. And so I knew that it was a song that Bob and his wife had often sung and played together. And I also knew that the key that they did it in was not commercially available. So I reached out to his wife, his widow, Noriko, and I expected her to, say, better luck next time. I don't know how to get it to you. I'm grieving, which she would have been well within her rights to say. But instead, she sent me a PDF of the transposition that she'd made to do this song with Bob in her own handwriting. It broke my heart a little bit to get that. And so every time I sing this, I think of Bob. But also, the other history pertains to the Bond songs that we did earlier. Bond dedicated a couple of those songs to great black singers. One was Lawrence White, and the other one, Dell Addison. And y'all need to find them. You need to look them up on YouTube. They are just some of the finest singers you ever hear. And they were not given shots at a wide-ranging classical career in this country because of racism. So do yourself a favor and look them up. We're going to do Here's One, and then after that it's going to take a little bit of a turn. Talk about a child that's do love Jesus. Here's one. Here's one. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here's one. Here's one. Ever since I learned the gospel story, I've been walking up path to glory. Talk that do love Jesus is Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. Here's one. Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. Here's one. In all Satan's snares I once was fallen, but I heard the voice of my Lord calling. Talk about a child that's been converted. Here's one. So now we have a set with a twist. This is a set of songs that I wrote back when I was a baby composer, like 4 years ago, so long ago. And I needed songs to teach 3rd and 4th graders to write their own songs. So I found these beautiful poems by Langston Hughes, and I figured I would set them to show them how you kind of set text with the voice and how you use different accompaniment textures for the piano. They're very simple, and because of that, we decided to stick one more song by Bonds in here. And it's actually going to be a repeat. It's the same text as the Song of Mine that directly precedes it. The song's title is Minstrel Man. You're going to hear that text twice. But first, there's about 3 full songs before that. You have 3 songs of mine, 1 song of Margaret Bonds, and then 1 more song of mine after. This is called the Dream Keeper's Cycle. Melodies that I may wrap them in a blue cloud cloth, away from the too rough fingers of the world. Hold fast to if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird and cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams grow. Life is a barren field, frozen with snow. Sun and softness, sun and the beaten hardness of earth, sun and the songs of all the sun stars gathered together. Dark ones of Africa, I bring my songs to sing on the Georgia roads. Because my mouth is wide with laughter and my throat is deep with song, you do not think I suffer after I have held my pain so long. Because my mouth is wide with laughter, you do not hear my inner cry. Because my feet are gay with dancing, you do not know I die. Because my mouth is wide with laughter and my throat is deep with song, you do not think I suffer after I have held my pain so long. Because my mouth is wide with laughter, you do not hear my inner cry. Because my feet are gay with dancing, you do not know I die. You do not know I die. The night is people. The stars are beautiful, so the eyes of my people. Beautiful also is the sun, beautiful are also the souls of my people. So, having to wear a mask of false jollity when the world is on fire and has been on fire for black people since the beginning of this country. Having to deal with people expecting you to laugh and smile and sing and dance when your heart is just burning. I often wish that I could get through the words of Minstrel Man twice in a row without crying, and at the same time I know that is as far away a possibility as the moon for me on foot. And yet it needs to be said again and again, because otherwise you laugh and smile and you sing and you dance and people think that you are happy with the way things are. That's why we had to put my people after, because if Minstrel Man just flays all the hurt open for everybody to see, my people, it's so loving and welcoming. Somehow it is about black people, and yet he does not mention the color of skin. He mentions the soul and the face and the eyes of my people are like the stars. Beautiful. Originally on the program, the next thing was going to be a setting of a Lucille Clifton poem that I wrote, but I made it egregiously difficult. So instead, I'm going to sing a spiritual in the old unaccompanied style called Over My Head. The refrain, I think, is self-explanatory if you're looking for hope. Over my head, I see beauty in the air. Over my head, I see beauty in the air. Over my head, I see beauty in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Over my head, I see glory in the air. Over my head, I see glory in the air. Over my head, be a God somewhere over my head. I hear music in the air over my head. I hear music in the air over my head. I hear music in the air. There must be, oh, there must be, oh, there must be a God somewhere. We all need a little hope and comfort, especially now. And one of the things I love about spirituals is that it doesn't matter if you believe in a historical Jesus. Jesus is a symbol for peace, love, joy, and the promise of a better life to come, whether in this world or the next. Preferably this world, preferably right now. The next few songs are also our comfort foods, right? We've got Deep River and then a setting of Tracy Chapman's wonderful song called The Promise. And these two songs will be our benediction tonight. Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into campground. Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into campground. Oh, don't you want to go to that gospel feast, that promised land where all Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you if you'll be waiting. I've longed for you, and I have desired to see your face, your smile, to be with you wherever you are. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you. Please say you'll be waiting. Together again, it would feel so good to be in your arms, where all my journeys end. If you can make a promise, if it's one that you can keep, I vow to come for you if you wait for me. And say you'll hold a place for me in your heart, a place for me in your heart. Ooh, a place for me in your heart. Oh, a place for me in your heart. Thank you all in the house. Thank you all on the internet. And could we get a round of applause just for Mark? Thank you. I believe now we have a Q&A. If there are any questions, either from people in the house or people out there in the world. Yeah. Does she have to come up here, or does she?
Do you want to come to a microphone and then the people at home can hear?
That's a good idea.
Oh,
Thank you. What is your name?
My name is Amanda Shiloh.
Hi, Amanda.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I want to thank you for such a powerful conference.
Thank you.
My question is actually on behalf of my son.
Mhm.
He's turning 16. He's a baritone and also
Yeah.
an aspiring music educator and
Mhm.
singer performer.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know, as a white man, when he is singing, if he
Mhm.
chooses to sing, or should he sing, music that is historically black music, would that be cultural appropriation? Is it something that he should say before acknowledging the history of the music?
Right, right. So one of the interesting things about that, was he born in this country, or?
Yes.
Yeah. So American music is his birthright, as is all of ours that were born in this country, and all of us who came here, any old way, It's our birthright as people who live in this country. And the thing about American music is that just about every single genre of American music is also black music. You got jazz, you got blues, you got gospel, you got R&B, you got hip hop. We made American music. There's very little American music that doesn't have some black roots, right? So if that's the case, You know, and if he can't do anything that, you know, is considered black music, then he can't do anything American music. And that's not the case. That's not what I believe. I in no way speak for an entire people. I speak for myself. But that's what I believe. Now, when it comes to spirituals, that is a horse of a different feather, if you will, altogether. Because there is black music that has become the world's, these genres that I mentioned. And then there is black music that grew directly out of the pain of being enslaved and ripped from our homeland. And spirituals are that music. There's white gospel, it's pretty good. There's white jazz people, they're good. Blues, R&B, hip hop, they are black genres. So, you know, there's something to be said for, you know, if I'm gonna hire somebody to do a black genre, I'm probably gonna hire a black person. But I'm not mad if somebody who's not black does it. It's the world's now. The music is the world's. There's jazz pianists in Russia. There's jazz pianists in Timbuktu at this point, right? But spirituals, I've come to believe, it's just so intrinsically a part of a person who is diasporically black. And I have tried to teach non-black people to sing spirituals. And it is the hardest, most futile thing I've ever attempted. Because I can't tell you how I just sang the spiritual, or any of the spirituals I sang today, idiomatically. I could try, and you could mimic what I do exactly, but I do a different thing every time, which is one reason why Mark is so long suffering, because he has to follow my ass with every different thing that I decide to do without telling him. There's some tricky moments, but it's because it just flows through me. It is a part of me. I don't remember learning how to do it. I could break it down and say, oh, you know, you use this vocal inflection here, and maybe you do this little melisma here, and then you could copy and paste, and it would be lifeless. So what I say to your son and to other non-black people that want to sing black genres, absolutely, sing black music. Sing black classical music written by black composers, sing non-classical music. If we don't, then we end up ghettoizing the music. We end up constructing just a small percentage of the people who made it can do it, and that means it doesn't grow and go anywhere. But spirituals, I believe, have grown enough. They've grown out of depredation. So when I sing them, even though I might get a hit of joy or peace, I feel the sorrow moving through me. I almost, when people ask me, and they often ask me if they should sing spirit and not black, and I'm like, why would you want to? Because that's not a place you can go to that you can come back from. When I sing spirituals, I feel like I'm calling up something primordial that I do not have control over, and frankly leaves me a little drained. So I say to your son and to others, just go forth and sing every kind of other black music possible except for spirituals. Yeah, thank you for asking the question. It's a good question. Before I get another question, I actually have a mea culpa, because the name of the guy who Bonds wrote the first Langston Hughes song was not Lawrence White, it was Lawrence Winters, as in the season. So don't type Lawrence White into YouTube and expect this guy to pop up. Type Lawrence Winters in. Anybody else? Nobody brave enough in here? I promise I don't bite. Yeah, okay.
I have never seen any, first, I'm Becca Keneally again.
Yeah.
I've never seen a singer shape words the way you do. This is
I really appreciate
this
it.
is a vocal technique question.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to hear you, for my chorus that's watching, that met you last year.
I remember you guys.
Yeah. The diction is one thing, but it's not just consonants at the beginnings and ends of words. It's your mouth is so active throughout the painting of words and the shaping of words. Is this something that the question is, how much time do you spend deciding how you're going to shape each word? Because every word is a piece of art.
Right. So I confess, I mean, I come from word people, and you and I have talked about this, but there's no reason y'all would know this. My mom is a historian, a folklorist, and an English teacher, and also happens to teach speech writing and elocution at her university. So that's just one of my parents, and then the other one of my parents is a music theory professor and a preacher. So words and delivering words has been just in my blood for a while. But what I do know is that is something, the delivering and communicating of text is something that is often left by the wayside when you're a singer trying to get control of your instrument. And one reason is just pure human fear. It feels safer to stick with a nice open position and make, you know, pear-shaped. Oh, it feels so nice. But you get nothing from that, right? Unless there's a consonant or something in there, a diphthong. It doesn't communicate meaning at all. And what I realized is I was being taught to sing like that when I started. And I hated it. Because I was like, they can't tell what I'm saying. I forget what I'm saying. I'm just making these pear-shaped rhythms of sound. And when I finally met the teacher that I am with now, she made it clear to me that you don't have to choose between being understandable and delivering beautiful arcs of sound.
Did you hear that at home?
Yeah, guys, I'll say it again. You don't have to choose between beautiful, resonant, vibrant vocal sound and communicative text. The trick is to get the consonants and the diphthongs and all of the movement as far away from your laryngeal apparatus and your vocal apparatus as possible. So that if I decide I want to sing and be understood, I'm not going to sing with my mouth east-west. Because every articulation I make will be too close to this stuff that has to work efficiently. So if I sing A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, it's an ugly sound. If I sing A-E-I-O-U, because it's as far from the thing that's doing the work as possible, and then I can inflect the words however I want to. I can sing with a different accent if I want to. I can decide, you know, one of the things, and I know you know this, but one of the things they tell you never to do as a singer is never sing a diphthong clearly. If you say a word like, this is a perfect example. At the end of the Coleridge Taylor song, which ends on a high note, literally for me, the word is life. You're supposed to sing life. It is life. But that's not the word. The word is life. So you have to sing, it is life. And it's fine if all of that movement, the movement from ah to e, and then the f, as long as it happens as far away from this as possible, I can do that as long as I want to and not hurt myself. And that's the name of it. That's the whole shebang, right? Otherwise, I would be playing, well, violin for you. So,
Thank you.
yeah, that's
Yes,
we did not talk about this question beforehand.
No, we didn't, and you say I wish you said.
Super important to me. Super important to me. You know, we've talked about it. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? Even the impertinent personal questions. I might answer them. Everybody satisfied? Everybody content? So I'm going to hit you with one last thing that I've made a habit of singing at the end of programs. This is Oh Freedom. Oh freedom. Oh freedom. Oh freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave to go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave to go home to my Lord and be free. This verse is for today. No more weeping, no more weeping, no more weeping over me, and And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave to go home to my Lord and be free. And this is my favorite verse. There will be singing, oh, there will be singing, oh, there will be singing over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Now we can go home. Thank you. Mm.